Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome to another traditional Best of 3 Zendikar Rising draft with Travis Semulin Sowers. If you'd like to watch the drafting action live, you can check us out at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. We are currently on Golgari theory, that being that green-black is the air quotes worst deck in the format, meaning that no one will take the cards for it, meaning I can get the best version of the worst deck every time I sit down to draft. And that makes this really not much of a consideration for me because Balagad Recovery is very good in that deck. Now, if we weren't on Golgari theory, we could talk about Shadow's Verdict, which is a very unique effect, and could even be playable here, but I'm not convinced that I want it. It's not a true Wrath. And I think you could make a case for the Geopede, maybe even Field Research if you wanted to go nuts. But I think Balagad Recovery is just the best card in this pack anyway, so it makes it easy. There will be times where we're challenged. And this is one of those times, because it looks like we should be going into Blue-Green Kicker. I'll play along with them, but I'm going to take the one that's really easy to splash. Because Sultai is a version of Golgari. We can't really splash a Lull Mage's Familiar or a Skydiver. If I get into Blue-Green Kicker, we'll be kind of sad that we don't have these cards. But if my theory holds true, we'll be pretty happy to have a Royal Mage on the splash or just not play any of them. Just wet Golgari, you're not crazy there. See, here's where they're really trying to get me in. And we got to decide. Because if we're just going to completely ignore this, we take the Blood Beckoning here. You used to be able to wheel those. You can't anymore. And it is already a wombo combo with the Royal Mage. I don't particularly feel tempted. And I'm not that keen to splash this. We'll have to see what everything else goes with. I'm taking the Blood Beckoning. We're coming into this draft with a plan, and it's a good one. Yeah, I can appreciate people wanting to get into blue-green, but my problem with this format was that I could never get... I mean, I was getting 1-2s and 0-2s, but since I got onto the Golgari IV, we've been getting 2-1s and 3-0s. We're just off the back of a 3-0 for those joining on YouTube. I like both of these cards. I like both of these cards a lot. But I think I can find card advantages in other places, and I really like this because we're about to get past Rabid Bite. See, there it is. Oh, we didn't get one, but it's okay. It's okay because I do like the Demon's Disciple as well. It's not perfect, but it also plays nicely with Blood Beckoning. We can make that work. So the beginning of the packs, we didn't see much. There's a Celebrant. This does make me a little concerned that maybe it's not actually open in this direction, and that would be kind of bad. But I'm going to stay the course. We're here for science, right? Sometimes experimentation requires sacrifices, like picking a Might of Marasa to signal. Now, Nectar Pot and Aesthetic, I'm both very happy to play. This is still in the maybe pile. I think it'll be easier for me to find big stuff, and let's just make sure we've got 2s to keep us alive. This is a 2 I actively want, so that's a pretty easy grab. Now, with any luck, okay, there's our Timber Maw Aesthetic. So right now we don't even really have that much reason to be splashing this, but we could. I'm going to take a Broken Wings over the Nectar Pot. It's a solid main deck card in this format. With any luck, we're going to see the good black cards in the next pack. It's a little concerning to me that the Hagrid Constrictors that were probably opened here aren't coming our way. And this is our opportunity to ditch the black and get into blue if we want to, but I don't want to. Yeah, I think Broken Wings main deck is a pretty good call. There's plenty of flyers, plenty of enchantments. All right, so we've got enough blue cards that if we need to make the swap, we can, but I kind of don't want to. So here we've got the option of Roiling Regrowth, Kalini Ambush, or Lotus Cobra. I think the Lotus Cobra would be better than the Regrowth because it can potentially give you some ramp. I'm not sure if it's on the same level as the Kalini Ambush, but I think I'm willing to give it a go. Being able to slam the Baloth or the Aesthetic a turn early is a pretty big deal. Because this almost helps as much with a splash as the Regrowth does. And we're not even that far from just getting out of black. Again, I don't think I'm going to. That Hagra Constrictor should wheel, and we're kind of hoping that it does. All right, there's a Feed the Swarm, which I really like as at least a one of for solid removal. Sometimes you need to just kill stuff. It's a shame to see it in the same pack as the Acquisitions Expert. I like this guy a lot, especially when you have Disciples. But I think we know where we're going. Yeah, there's our Rabid Bite. I see the End of the Royal. I see the Gloom Hunter. I see the Hagra Constrictor. It's okay. If this theory holds, we should be wheeling a lot of that. And I know a lot of you watching are like, hey, there's a blue-green deck passing through your fingertips. I know, but the payoffs for Golgari just come so late that you're pretty happy to gobble them up and take them. And then you can wheel things like the Hagra Constrictors. The last few times I've done this, I've ended up with more Hagra Constrictors than I actually wanted to play. Because it feels like if a skeleton gets opened, it's going to get passed to you. So again, the blue is still open this way too, but I feel like this has our early game all fixed. I can find late game from here. One Deadly Alliance would be nice. We're not quite as counter-focused as I usually get in these decks. For some reason, people be taking my Gnarl Reds. We can play without them. Or maybe word's gotten out. Or any of the podcasts saying that Golgari is the way to go now. I like this guy a good bit for big chonky stuff. And we've got like rogues. I should be able to get a couple of the 4-drop wizards. So if we need a big chonky thing, he can fill the bill. I've got enough early game. So I think it's the next pack we're hoping to wheel the Constrictor. I'm just going to take this as a maybe play. I don't think I'm really seriously considering it. So we did wheel the Constrictor, which is good. Yeah, it's possible, Limestone. It's also possible that word's gotten out and people know now, which means we have to find whatever the next deck is. But for now, this has been working pretty consistently for me. And I'm still leaving this here just to remind me that I have it. Yeah, we got past a Gragmaw in the last draft. I'm not playing any of this. Yeah, Clerics, Wizards, and Kicker are tier 1, which is exactly why I don't want them. I don't want to be in the tier 1 decks that other people are fighting for. I want to get the best version of the worst deck. Oh, you can play Spare Supplies. I probably will. It's not the worst. Many of the Kicker cards are strong because they have that flexibility, which is not a bad thing. It's always open. Well, he's presumably got more synergy than that legend did, but I didn't draft Theros, so I don't, or I didn't draft Theros the Return, so I don't know for sure. So I'm a little interested in Surge and Bite. There's really no hope that we wield them. We're obviously going for the dude that gets counters, because like that's quite good in our deck, but it'd be nice to have some of the fixing or maybe another Rabid Bite too. But this is very good for us. Gives us a flying threat. Okay, I can pick up our Gloom Hunter now, because I usually do want one of these in this deck. And it looks like this Royal Mage is probably not making it in, which is fine. Saw four moss pits last draft. It doesn't surprise me. Like people just don't want to be green black. I'm gonna put this over here for now. If we find some fixing, we can talk about it. But it's looking like we're just not gonna need it because we've got 6 early plays, plenty of late game. It's just this mid range that's hurting a little bit. There's some arguments that I could play 2 beefers. What's my creature count at? Because this is not that much better than the cleric. It's arguably not better than the cleric, and I think the deck's going to want a subtle strike and would probably be happy playing a Malakir Rebirth. I would like one more piece of beef, though. Yes, black-green is the worst deck. That's why I'm drafting it. No, I'm going to have faith. I can find another cleric. Hey, look. It's the card that goes in the deck. I really want the wizard, too. I mean, it is definitively the worst deck in the format, which is why people are avoiding it, which is why you can win with it. Yeah, we're on the same page there, bud. If this is our last piece of beef, I can be okay with it. Because, like, I do have one spell land to pick up. I'd probably rather play the Visionary, though, frankly. Yeah, I think I would. It makes the Adventurer cheaper. Okay, here we go. This is the deck. We got 2 Shadow Cats. We can make this work. I don't think we're playing any of this, so I'll take a Broken Wings for the size board. Mild disagree there. I can pitch the Nectar Pot now and play this dude. We've got enough counter shenanigans that it's worth it. If you want to get consistent 3-0s, you need to have a strategy that's different than what everybody else is doing, because otherwise you're all fighting over the same cards. You're going to end up with a bad version of a good deck, and so is the rest of the table. But if there's one deck, like, I hear what you're saying, Destiny Trigger. It's not like in Avacyn Restored where black was so bad, right? Wow, we even spun this. This is kind of nutty. I'm going to take this in case I want to side into more beef, because I might. Like, Avacyn Restored black was so bad you really couldn't play it, and Battle for Zendikar, green was so bad you kind of couldn't play it. But short of that, you're not usually in a situation where you just have literal unplayable colors. This looks pretty good to me. But I mean, that's what I've done in the past 6 months of drafting. Like, nobody wanted to play Mardu in Ikoria, and they said Offspring's Revenge was terrible. So, cool, I'll do it. Same thing in the core set. Everybody said black was bad. Okay, cool. I'll take all the black cards. You can keep passing those Grasp of Darkness right to me. It's a little heavy on the creature count, but I mean, that's not a bad thing. We can always feed them to the Shadow Cat. I can side in the Nectar Pot if we're scared, the Adventurer if we need more beef, and probably cut the spare supplies for one of those cards. That all seems fine. All right, are we ready for the Stream Raiders battle? There's 91 of us for a 2-star. I think we probably got this. Yeah, seems like we're fine. Easy peasy. Old Dance with the kills, Devlock with the assists. Rewards for TK, Hi-Rez, Urberk, and Sim Wife. And we're on to fight the undead. I'll let you guys handle the strategy on that one. What spot has attained sentience? Sounds good, Limestone. They're thinking about playing out their Gloom Hunter. They've decided to play out their Gloom Hunter. That does require an answer, which I'm going to have a difficult time providing. All right, I think the line has to be to try to make them not want to attack in with the ooze. Which is going to put me really weak to a subtle strike, but I'm already kind of dead to a subtle strike anyway. All right, we do need to start trading stuff off, but I can still make it scary for them to attack with the ooze. Yeah, Cardboard Live's been having some trouble. It looks like they've got an update, so I'll get us updated. Do it over there. That's not very nice. Get us a counter here. We can keep up with this dude for a little bit. Man, I really want to be able to fire this off here, but I kind of can't yet. We can try to get some subtle strike value. It's scary, though. I don't really need to do it. We can just try to make this trade. I guess it makes more sense to keep the Survivor. I probably just want to keep the Bat, so that doesn't matter a whole lot. Okay, that sucks, but at least we got the Bat covered. And this dead. So I can kind of recover, and I still get to draw 2 cards off of this. So we're down a lot of mana, but I can conceivably race the life. They must have just been on the same plan I was, which is funny. The Haggard Constrictor doesn't block anything. But yeah, they're on the same deck I'm on, and obviously it's working out pretty good. If two people can fight over this deck in a pod, it's even better than we initially thought. I want to play that, but I can't. This kind of sucks. Because we're going to go real low here. So the adventurer's coming next turn. We're taking 7 damage, going to 5. I'm not realistically able to block any of this anyway, so we may as well just have some hope if they're able to kill the Gloom Hunter. I could conceivably double block this with it, but I don't think I need to yet. I think if the Gloom Hunter dies, I'm probably losing the game. I don't care if they kill this. Draw one of them rogues. That'd be super swell. Okay, this can gain us some life and block the 6/5. But I'm probably out of pretending that I can continue blocking with the Gloom Hunter, right? Or not blocking with the Gloom Hunter. Like we trade this here, we double block this, we're stable. The other option is to hit there, double block this. Yeah, it's too risky. We're going to have to block here. This is a problem. It's a problem I can sort of handle, though, if they don't have anything else. But really, this is a victory for Golgari theory either way. Dear Lord, don't have anything. It's conceivable I could recover even if they kill the adventurer. It's not likely, but it's conceivable. I'm not going to double block it. Well, yeah, I am. I am actually, because at least I could get rid of a subtle strike this way. Yeah, I could do that, but what I want to do is recovery the blood beckoning. You see what I'm saying? You're afraid it's too slow? Why not just double block it? They've got hasty 4/4s. They don't have hasty 5/5s. Do I really need the Death Toucher now? I guess it doesn't hurt. How much do we have? Not quite enough to do everything, so let's just play this dude first. Rabid Bite and Death Touch is quite the combo. That seems unnecessary at the moment. So that kills my entire board, huh? That seems not great for me. It doesn't kill the Shadow Cat, so obviously we feed something to the Shadow Cat. And I may as well draw a card while we're at it. There we go. Boop. Man, their deck is way better than mine. And I'm kind of terrified of it. All right, so I don't think I need wings against them, right? I can kill a Gloom Hunter. But I kind of just want another piece of beef. Something that can't be exiled. Yeah, I think it's playable, but probably not necessary. But another piece of beef seems nice here. I think they were in my pod, and that explains why we didn't see all the payoffs for this. Because we passed that Wrath early, and I think they went in on it. Which, I'll play it sometimes, but I don't think it's a card you need to play. I like it a little better than the side. This would be venison? I don't think you could say what's inside a sig. That's a basilisk, dude. Like, are basilisks made of venison? Ugh. That's rough even for me. Baskets are made of chicken. I would keep this if one of those was green. I think I actually am supposed to mulligan this. What are our odds to draw green with 9 sources? %50. If we're not drawing that, we might draw black cards. But most of our early game is green. I'm still going to try this, but it's questionable. Because if I don't hit the survivor on turn 2, this hand is kind of dead. So this is a risky one, but I mean, mulliganing is risky too. Yeah, but I really want to hit this on turn 2. Because, like, getting clogged with a bunch of green here is going to be bad. Right? Like, imagine we hit here. They're going to play something that can kill this. Right on time. The other challenge is a lot of our black cards don't really do much right now, right? All right, now we could conceivably, like, stabilize with a green. Vanquish the Weak would be nice there, but it's the last turn. It'll answer the cat. Now they know my shame. This one's slipping away. Yeah, that should do. Because that I guess I can't draw like swamp. I can't draw forest and something to do. And there's not just enough raw card draw here to do it. So trading this for that would be 1, 2 lethal. Yeah, we're dead. We needed green. And we've got 9 green sources, so I think we've actually got enough. We just kind of need to draw it at some point. It's not easy, but it's the right call. Green mana! Yay! This hand's really bad too. The difference here is we've actually got early game we could draw that's green, or we could draw swamps. But it's another one that the shuffler's going to dictate a little bit whether or not we get into this game. And then if we do, we've got some action. Because we wanted more beef against them, we've got it. Alrighty. So far, this is pretty fun. Oh, yep, 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 yep. Yeah, they got a better version of it than us, but that's not why we're losing. But like this is one of those draws. The only option we had here, I'm gonna go ahead and call that one. The only option we have there is to mulligan. And for those of you watching on YouTube who are like, why didn't you mulligan? An important piece to understand is that when you and I can link you to podcasts explaining this. Come by the stream, we'll talk about it. But the short version is when you mulligan, you're shaving off about a 10% chance to win. So you really need to try to find excuses to keep hands, if at all possible. And I think both of those could have gotten there with the right draws. We just sadly didn't get the right draws, which sucks. But like you're not guaranteed a better hand when you mulligan. You just have a chance at one. So weighing that chance against giving up a 10% win percentage, I'm going to try to find reasons to keep those hands. The first one could have drawn black cards or forest and been fine. The second one would have been pretty much happy with any land, but swamp would have been best. All right, let's see if we're ready for this. Yes, there are 99 of us. Let's go kill these undead. A lot of busters from these undeads. But I think Snus just tanked all of them. All right, I think we're okay. There's still 50 of us and 12 of them. We got this. Yeah, monocolored decks rarely have the mana issues that you'll get in 2, 3, 4, 5 color, 6 color decks. But you'll lose some power in draft if you try to go for that. I haven't had many monocolored draft decks, although it can happen. Ortiz with the kills, Urberk with the assists. Rewards for Higgs, Snus, Dom, Shivan, and Sparrow. And here we got a 4-star, so we'll let this one go to time. Just got to go in there and chop down some orcs. I'm game. All right, let's see if we can salvage a 2-1 out of this. I'm happy we figured out a consistent strategy that can get a 3-0. And like I said, if we win the next two, this whole draft is really a victory for Golgari. Yeah, it's possible. It'll come up now and then. Early and late in a format are times to be on the lookout for that. And I've had decks that were functionally monocolored. I'd rather play Home Slice here. I want to have this up just in case they've got the Flash Rogue, dude. The Subtle Strike, that is. And then after we've passed, we can cast this. Can't really do much with the extra mana this turn. There will come a turn where I can, though. This is not that turn. Go figure. I probably still want to kill that, right? I think I do. I was thinking I'd have an extra to activate the spare supplies, but I didn't. Yeah, I'm not sure what you pick over Phylath personally. That's interesting that they value that over the 1/1 Death Toucher. The way this is played out, I wish I'd kept the Sanctuary in hand because we're flooding a little bit. Flooding a lot of bit. I'm going to hold these two in case they have a Mind Rot. But we'll play out subsequent lands. I think we go ahead and take care of this. Misclick would explain passing Phylath. I'd even get off of my black-green dreams for that. Yeah, I think the air is the way to go here. Because I got two answers to the thing on the ground. Now, they could have like a 4/4, but this will make them chump and then give them two turns to two draws to deal with it. Okay, maybe a little more than two, but not a lot. I don't think we need to play around the Mind Rot anymore. That's mostly dead. I like that. That's not doing anything right now. I mean, it's not doing anything later either, but maybe they put a bubble tea on this or something. Those are both lethal, so I can just eat this. Man, green-black feels good when you're playing against colors that aren't green-black. They had enough flyers and artifacts that I probably want the other Broken Wings. Subtle Strike was real good. We're not cutting that. What's our worst card here? Because we should probably just cut our worst creature and move along. Frankly, it's probably this Baloth. Like, it's fine, but it's not blowing my mind here. I'd rather have the cat. We've been able to draw a lot of cards off of that cat. Those of you that were watching when I was on the Mardu train in Ikoria, how often did I draft something that wasn't Mardu? Because I remembered it happened on occasion, but it was pretty rare. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. But like 1 out of 10 times weren't? Okay. I'm going to go with the Tabaraks first. It's too high. Yeah, it's too high upside if they don't have an anti-cognition, because I get to disciple their next play and draw a card. Like, the downside is they probably have a cognition, and that sucks, but the upside is if they don't have it right there, we're looking pretty good. I mean, crabs are weak, yo. Oh, no, they're not that weak, actually. Fine. Yeah, you obviously don't go Demon's Disciple first, right? We'd like to make another land drop this turn, if we can. If not, I'm pretty happy to trade this off. It'll be back. These are not the scariest creatures I've ever seen, but I'm a little stuck on mana here. I feel pretty confident running these out. The plan would be to block here and then use this as a rabid platform next turn. I wanted the skeleton on top because I know I'm playing a 2 next turn. Like, why not? They've also got a decent amount of mill, so it's another card I'm not milling. What? That's bizarre. Like, patently bizarre. I'm going to trade this off now. Back is way better today, Techno Shaman. It still hurts, but it's better than it was yesterday, which is certainly a start. I think I got a better night's sleep. I'm still pretty low energy, and the left side of my mouth is all one giant blister, but it'll be all right. Let's just get Jace out of here so we don't have to worry about it. Like, I'd like them to not have very many opportunities here. That one doesn't make sense. This one makes a little more sense. If you want to chomp and keep that Jace, you can do that. I don't think I want the Gloom Hunter out here. He sees how all this connects now. I'm hopeful I'll be back to fighting form on Friday. I mean, I can just get a subtle strike and have some value here. I could also get the Taborax. That seems pretty spicy. But I don't need to do anything right now. Let's make the attack first and see what they do. Because this should just take out Jace, and then I can decide what I want to do next. So we get one card back. What should it be? Rabid Bite takes out just about whatever they play. So does the Disciple. I want to play Tabarax because it's cool. But they kept two things on top. I could get back a spare supplies and just cycle through and draw 2 cards. That's not the worst either. Because like I'm pretty happy hitting lands. I think I actually just want to turn this into a draw 2. Rabid Bite would be the best if I didn't already have this Feed the Swarm. And like I'm happy to find another land anyway. All right. Value train is over. Now we're going to start killing you. Man, I keep picking the wrong times for my Shadow Cat. Keep thinking there's no way they're going to kill the flyer. They've got to have too many answers to a flyer. But they don't. Yeah, they would have killed it in response to the cat anyway, but sure, but it's pretty good. Sadly, you cannot. I don't think I want to deal with this. Okay. I don't think it works like that. Maybe a judge in chat can help explain things. Well, now we never get to know. Okay, well, that's neat then. Well, it wouldn't draw you a card. Well, it would put the dude on top, but you wouldn't draw the card, right? Like Shadowcat doesn't draw cards unless the thing that you sacrifice has a counter. If the skeleton has counters, yes, it would draw you cards. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that that works. I'm not entirely sure that I believe that, but we will see. I will leave that to the YouTube comments to figure out. All right, I apologize, YouTube, but I need a quick potty break. I'll be right back. Chat will entertain you for 2 seconds. Thank you for entertaining YouTube chat. I figure I'll think better if I'm thinking about victory and not how soon can we get this game over so I can go pee. Test it next game. One of y'all can go test it against Sparky if you want to see. That's what Sparky's there for. If you get results, let me know. I'd like to know. I would like to know more. Hey, this is one of the best hands we've gotten with this. Let me know what you find, Rocky. Yeah, of course I washed my hands. Not a monster. This is normally not a trade I'd make, but with Blood Beckoning in hand, I'm pretty keen to trade that off. All right, we've got some real landfall shenanigans going over here. Broken Wings is not the droid we're looking for. So I'm kind of going to need them to take a trade here. Offering it up nice and free for you. They don't want it. This nicest hand we've had with this deck has turned into something a little terrifying. It's turned into something very terrifying. We're going to die. All right, so I can take 3 on that. I really needed another land, but then we gang block the other one and we're sort of alive. I don't think I fire this off yet. They got a removal spell for this. It's just game over, right? Ugh. All right, we're going to play a little differently, knowing that they're all about these cats. Because that is a hefty chonk. So Broken Wings probably not going to be much of what we're looking for here. I think I might just want a Nectar Pot. If they stall out, it can hold against them. It gives us a little bit of life gain as the game goes on. I'm not excited about it. But of the options we have, it appears to be the most reasonable. Heck yeah, we're scared of a potential Felidar, but we're going to have to use those Death Touchers to trade for something significant and not for a 2-1. So we'll aggressively trade stuff off, but not the Death Touchers. Hopefully that was a good draw from them. This is acceptable. Fat cat theory? It's not a bad theory, detective. We've got to vanquish the weak for the first one, and then ideally a Bright Blade for the second. No grated cheese. That's kind of the worst. Yeah, I wonder how many of them they have. At least 3 is the answer. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. I Can't really do much with that unless I draw something off of this guy that's 3, that's a 2 cost. I could play the Tabrax and attack with this, but I'm still threatening to trade with these here. I think they just take the 2 damage if I attack with this. Yeah, that kind of leaves me in this is my best line and see what we draw. If it's another land, we can do some interesting things next turn. Welcome back, Iggy. Gosh darn Surge. It's a lot of potential damage. So much damage. White-green landfall's the other color pair I was thinking might be something to go for, but like this is just a lot of cats and combat tricks. We've got enough removal in the deck. It's the trampled that's a bit concerning. This needs 5 counters, right? How many counters does it need? 5 counters. I can't quite get 5 counters on it easily. I've had a couple good white-green landfalls that were good, but... Oh, good lord, we're just dead. Because that's 12 damage coming in and I can soak 5. I guess that's technically not just dead, but it's really close. Yeah, but I still got to block with the whole thing, right? You get your counters, boy. No, then they could use that and force through more damage. I need 2 blockers this turn. There's not really a way to do that without this and this. But then they're just going to combat trick one of them and I'll be in the same spot. Because all of their creatures are lethal from here on out. I guess I can make them kick it to keep the Root Grazer alive if they want to go that route. Or make them play it at least. That's fair that might have been another line. Thank you, Rocky. You have done good science. Got a respite there is very welcome. I'm something of a scientist myself. We're pretty close to. I need to turn on the aggression next turn. I probably should have played the Baloth first because I need to turn on the aggression before they draw a 6/5 trampler. Because that will kill me. I was a little surprised about that too. That is a little sad. I don't think it's entirely mad, no. This trading defensively is obviously quite good for us. I can eat it and get a counter, but that sets me back on land. I may just be happy with this as a 1/1 flyer. And I really needed another land here. But we're not going to get one. I think it might limestone. You got to play other cards to do that. Yeah, I think it might be too good. It'd certainly be better than it is. That's fair. All right, let's do our Stream Raiders battle. Tis an orc siege. We need to get them defeated. Which it looks like we got covered, yo. Let's use they if you don't mind, Yak. I prefer to use they if we don't know the gender of our opponents. It's an easy switch. But yeah, that's fair. Maybe they have an Onduin version. I don't know why they didn't attack earlier and force a trade and a chomp. It's okay. Because like that got really scary for a minute. Thank you, Zombob. Villain does work also. Simwife with the kills, Baba Cab with the assists. Scrolls for Higgs, Shaman, and Kriz. And we got another 4-star. It's just a loot. Loot, 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 loot. Cool. I like loot. I don't think there's really anything I can do to be better against those cats, because I'm bloody terrified of them. Yeah, this is the world we live in. It is a scary world. Durm, 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 durm. Yeah, if that isn't a land, then this one has to come into play, because I need to go 2, 3, 4 now. Good grief. Get that out of here. God, the combat trick's just going to throw me for a loop. I need to find my death touch, boys and girls. We're doing good, Hogwarts. I hope everything is good in your world, too. Yeah, this is a yikes from me, dog. We just want to slam the adventurer. Probably have to. Because I could Cobra, then play this and get 3. That's not enough to actually do anything. Yeah, that's what I think it was, Hogwarts. Okay. Didn't really need it, but that's all right. We just need a lot of crap to block on the ground with for now. Yeah, they're terrifying when they blow up. Ugh, more. With trample. Oh, this is not the droid we're looking for, yo. This is definitively not what we need. I wish I'd recorded the first draft for YouTube instead of this one. It's a deck I don't think holds up very well against blue. Imagine we were into the roiling these. But yeah, it's highly synergistic. That's the only reason I tend to prefer black to white, is if you get your landfall dudes bounced, you're kind of done. Okay, no more worry about you. We're still terrified, and I think probably dead if they swing. I believe they are mathing it out as we speak. That's not going to help. Now, if we can somehow kill the tramplers, maybe we're onto something? So, like, here, I've got to put 8 power in front of that, and their last card's a combat trick. So we may as well put 8, 9, 10, 11 if we can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 would make sure that dies. And I can chump this. Well, if you're going to chump, you chump this guy. And we're still probably very dead. Yeah, I don't know how to recover from this, because this is us taking 14. That's not going to work. I can't play around the combat trick. So this is us taking probably still lethal. Probably still very lethal. This, I think, leaves us sort of alive, right? Because we're trading for that. We're chumping this. We're chumping that. We're trading for this. There's some amount of trample going through, but I don't have the math for it. And if they've got the combat trick, it's been game over. They could have the shelter card too. We know they've got that in the deck. Yeah, that's game. Like, we're not technically dead right now, but I don't know how we're supposed to recover from this. Wow. I guess how we could recover is we took that board wipe earlier. Yeah, that card I passed, pack one, pick one, would have been really good in this matchup, and it might have gotten our neighbor out of it. The order of the attacks doesn't actually matter, Ryan. They're all attacking at once. And then the person who's defending decides how to block. But we got wrecked here. We'll take it. Boys and girls of YouTube, thank you for watching. Come by the stream. You can see me 3-0 sometime instead of watching us get a 1-2 and being sad. But I do think green-black is where it's at. There were 2 wins in this draft by a green-black deck. Just one of them wasn't mine. If you would like to see it live, you can come to www.twitch.tv/Semulin, and we'll see you next time for more best of 3 drafting on the YouTubes.